Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management, Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo! Kevin says, woo! Somewhere else. He actually, it's good because his computer has been revived, but
Okay.
he said he fixed whatever the heck that was last time. That was pretty.
Yeah,
that was pretty
I mean,
brutal.
he also needs a new webcam because that he keeps like dipping off in video, but yeah.
No, it's yeah. But
that'll be the roast for today for Kevin will be his tech is just garbage these days.
Yeah, poor guy. But he is watching the Montreal Victoire. I wonder if Marie-Philippe Poulin would be first overall if they had like a women's fantasy hockey league.
I feel like it's a no-brainer, right?
Probably. I don't know. I feel like she's like
I don't know. I went to
years and she's super good.
That's fair. I went to 3 games last season of the Victoire. It's actually a really fun show and also like way more affordable than the Habs I got for like a push present for Eva, my wife. I got her like front row tickets to go see the Victoire because like it was actually reasonable to get. So it was really fun. And when I went, Marie-Philippe Poulin put up a hat trick in the first game. So I'm like, okay, you know, this is legit. I get why this is like the one name that I know going into it.
No, it's intense. Like they're like, I mean, in the
so
Olympics,
good.
Canada, US is like really, really, it's intense stuff. Like,
it's awesome. I love it.
With Haley Wickenheiser and Cassie Campbell, like I remember that, like those names growing up, and they were always really good. So that's where Kevin is. He ditched us. It's just your fries and a milkshake today. That's referencing our last episode, the Bullsh by Los El High, which I still don't know if it's going to stick, but we'll see. Anyway, welcome into Banger Management, the Fantasy Hockey Podcast with Jake, Josh, and Kevin. That was a heavy-duty lollygagging sesh. Kevin's not here, as we know. Just Jake and Josh today. The best duo, as Kevin likes to say. So
so close to Drake and Josh.
Yes, seriously. I remember when we first made our group chat for our league. That was like Jake and Josh, because you had been speaking like all the time. I was like, let's just make a group chat, and then it's like, oh, Jake and Josh, like Drake and Josh, and Kevin was like, I'm Miranda Cosgrove.
It all adds up.
That was really funny. He's the Arturs after all. Yes, so today is going to be the day that they're going to throw it back to you, and we're also doing our Week 8 news and updates, and Kevin's famous the selfless act of still giving us his would you rathers, which we have not peaked. Have you peaked?
I never peak.
I would never.
That is the Josh guarantee.
Yes.
Now you've peaked back in your day. You've peaked, but you know,
wrong.
You're a reformed peaker.
That's really funny. So yes, Week 8 news and updates and would you rathers. Follow us everywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we are there. Rate us 5 stars if you like what you hear. We would truly appreciate it. And we're on YouTube now. Super cool. Super fun. You get to see our faces, and sometimes Kevin's too when his
camera decides to work.
Does not die. Anyways, so subscribe on YouTube. We truly do appreciate that as well. And all of our socials are in the link tree, which is in the podcast or video description, depending on where you are listening / watching us.
When you said like follow us before you said like all the things, and you were just like follow us, I'm just like picturing like Will Ferrell in Old School being like, we're all going streaking on the quad. Come follow us, guys. We're all going. Everyone's doing it.
Crazy. Old School Will Ferrell. There's nothing like it.
No, unreal.
Was he your favorite comedian of the early 2000s?
I feel like he's got to be definitely like top. Yeah.
So you know what? Not hockey related.
Yeah.
Brilliant. But Nate, you can drop a comment, listeners, of who your favorite comedian was in the early 2000s.
Or how about this? How about favorite Will Ferrell movie?
That works too. That's even better. Favorite Will Ferrell movie. And if you don't like Will Ferrell, please back up your claims as to why.
Yeah. There you go.
Very cool.
Hey, Will Ferrell's a big LA Kings fan, so maybe we'll get him on the get some outreach and get him on the pod one day.
That'd be awesome.
I'd say my top is Talladega Nights, but like actually low key Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory is so good. Oh, it's so Chaz Michael.
We're a hockey podcast. Got to talk about some skating, but anyways, let's dive in because this was a intense lollygagging session.
Yes.
So Let us begin. Jonathan Miller, JT Jonathan Talismanic Miller, is out with an upper body injury. Will Cooley taking a spot on power play 1. As a former JT owner, I'm rejoicing because I hate him now and he's not on my team. But no, it definitely is a big loss. Most like for anyone who has him on their team, like he literally put up his first good game of the season. He gets like 2 power play goals. And then he's like, that's it. I'm packing it in, folks.
Yeah, actually, it's a real question mark. I think perhaps the move to winger was, a really good catalyst for him. And that's probably why he did well. This is just brutal. This is like a cherry on top of a bad season, which sucks. If you pick JT first, which you did in a Bangers League, probably second round in a points league, it's just been super sad to see. Everyone thought the change of scenery was going to help, and lo and behold,
being named captain and having the great playoff schedule. These are all things that went in my mind when I drafted him in the first round. But it's definitely brutal.
Will Cooley's been awesome. Laugh sucks. I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
He really has to get traded. I saw on Instagram, I think it was like it was 2 people going at it, just back and forth, being like, they should do Svechnikov for Lafreniere. And then the other one was like, are you crazy? Like, they would never do that. Svechnikov's so much better. But that would be a kind of cool way to spice things up,
Yeah.
Mainly for the Rangers, because if Laf goes to the Hurricanes, that's a disaster.
Yeah.
Still.
No, I mean, I drafted Laf also. I mean, it was pretty late in our draft, but this was supposed to be the year. I thought that what was holding him back was the coaching and the fact that Gallant refused to put him on power play 1. And then going into the year, it was, we're going to give the coach saying, we're going to give Laf a shot at power play 1. And then Trocheck gets injured right off the bat. So the spot's wide open for him. And he just does absolutely nothing with it, to the point where now JT's out and it's Trocheck and Cooley who have the spot instead of Laf. So he's cooked. I have zero interest in having him on my team. But about JT, it's only day to day, so no reason to panic just yet, other than the awful season he's been having so far. I still think he's a buy low. Like, if I hadn't just traded him away, I would be trying to buy low on him. But you gotta, don't overpay either.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Kevin here and ask you a few names of would you give them for JT. I'm gonna give you only 3, okay?
Yeah.
Would you give? And if this is you getting JT in return, just to clarify.
And also to clarify, this is a Bangers League with face-off wins, where he has his most value.
Let's take away the face-offs, just for the sake
just
of
Bangers League.
Yes.
Okay.
Would you give, if you have Elias Pettersson for JT Miller?
Hilarious.
I know.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, no face-off wins, so Miller's getting more shots and more hits for sure. Pettersson gets more blocks if your league counts that.
Yeah, he's good at that, actually.
Yeah, he is. Like, I like him as an all-around player. And he's been really hot lately, and Miller sucked. But I feel like with the playoff schedule and the potential, like, I think... And also, like, if you had Pettersson, until about 2 weeks ago, you were trying to shoot him into the sun. So... I don't hate this. I would take Miller over him.
That's so graphic. Like, whoa.
Sorry, maybe that's just how I feel when I have these guys on my team and I'm like, do something. You poke him with a stick. You're like, are you still alive?
Yeah, that's that meme. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm gonna go JT there. Cutter Gauthier.
Yeah, JT.
JT. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I gotta aim a tad higher than this. We can say Tom Wilson, but I think you said you'd rather Wilson over JT.
I'm going Wilson
right?
at this point. Yeah.
You're going Wilson? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay JT there because I think that I can't imagine it's gonna stay this bad. And if it does, he's gonna be like a 4th round pick next year. It's just crazy.
Yeah. It does feel like just all the pieces are there. There's no reason for him not to just pop off out of nowhere. And look, as someone who just traded him away, I'm praying for his demise. But I will say I do think he's going to pop off at some point. So I wouldn't fault you for taking him over Wilson.
Yep.
All right, let's move on.
Go to the next. Yes.
Mikko Rantanen, the Moose of the Dallas Stars, has been suspended for 1 game. He put up 39 penalty minutes against me last week. The guy had 18 penalty minutes on the entire season before that. He's not a goon. He puts up 39 pims, wins the cat single-handedly for my opponent. I'm over it. Anyways, nothing he did was like actually malicious. It was like, irresponsible. Yes, it injured players. Yes, but it wasn't like intentional, which is why this was like an automatic 1-game suspension you get for being ejected twice, I think in 2 or 3 games, something like that. But they didn't make it any more than that. In that 1 game, Tyler Seguin's going to get his power play 1 spot. That game is happening tonight, actually. And yeah, nothing much to say here. It was just, if you have Rantanen, you're happy about the Pims if you're in a Pims league, but it also sucks to lose him for a game. But at least they have a 4-game week, so he's still going to get you 3 games this week.
Yeah, not much more to say. The fantasy implications here are like if this makes
Stream
you high on
Seguin for a game.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's not happening with Rantanen again. If there's any way you can capitalize on his value, being like, look, he's a goon now. Look at what just happened. Like I guess it's an opportunity.
Well, you know what I like is you wait a bit. Maybe not too long, but you wait until like these like goon games kind of sink down in his game log, and then people I usually just look at season averages, right? And you look at his average, and you're like, whoa, like he averages like 2 Pims a game. That's sick, in a Pims league. And then if people don't realize that it's just 2 big chunks of like crazy like outliers, then you can add that to his value, and it also brings his like positional value or his like overall Yahoo rank higher if your league counts that. So some fun stuff you can do there. But not much else to say about that. Jason Zucker returned to the lineup and took back his spot on power play 1, bumping off Alex Tuch. Jakey grabbed him over me. I got outbid, so that was a solid pickup. He's one of those guys who just rounds out your roster, right? He's like power play 1, like pretty much a staple on that team. No matter who comes and goes, as long as he's healthy, he's got that power play 1. He'll probably get bumped down to line 3. Right now he's line 2, but you have him for that power play exposure and the shots and hits.
Yeah, I had an interesting thing. So we do free agency budget, FAB, some call it, in our league. Everyone calls it that. I just wanted to clarify. And so we have 100, FAB to start the year, and then there's continuous rolling waivers. And if your league doesn't do that, it's a very common thing in football, but in hockey it's more rare. Anyway,
it's
all
really
this
fun.
to say, it's really cool. It's a great system, and we love it. So I had 1 FAB on him, and then I was like, you know what? No, like someone's gonna bid on him. I put 6, and then I saw Danila Yurov's game. I was so hyped. Like when Walsek got this shutout on Sunday versus the Jets, and I was like, oh, whatever. You know what? I'm just gonna put it down. I wouldn't mind if I get Yurov, so I'll just put $1 on him, and I couldn't believe I got him. Like I thought he was gonna go for 3 or 4. Because really, Zucker's been a reliable fantasy asset for over a year now, and the Sabres are not good. But this is an example, a clear example, and we've seen this before of a veteran guy, a journeyman in his career, who's succeeding on a bad team, right? So I still think that if he does get traded, because Buffalo is still kind of a disaster area, that his value is going to go down. This is the best team for him to succeed. But while he's on the Sabres, he's nearing a double-double, and his power play points are awesome. So it's really great to have that exposure. And even though it's not a good team, the Sabres do have talent. You can't score 9 goals in a game if you're garbage all around. They'll just be inconsistent and all over the place. But he's a small, bright spot of this offense. So if he's on your waivers...
Another small bright spot of this offense, because he is a small person. Zach Benson returns to action and bumped Josh Doan off power play 1. So there's a lot of moving pieces with Buffalo. Also, Josh Norris has been skating, and he should be back within the week. So I'm really curious to see how that power play 1 shakes out. To me, the S-tier locks are obviously Thompson and Dahlin. That's no question. I actually think the next step of lock is Zucker. They really like him on that power play.
Yes.
Then I'd be shocked if Norris doesn't get a spot because they got him to be their 1C. And then that leaves Benson and Doan as battling it out. From what I'm seeing, it's going to be Doan over Benson. But I think that that's going to be easily flippable if they don't start off hot. So it's an interesting situation to follow, especially because Benson, Norris, and Doan, and Zucker are all under 20% owned, something like that. So it's definitely there's value to be had here. So keep an eye out. And we'll update you guys.
Absolutely. And what I like in this with Benson is that, first of all, he was drafted to be a great player, and he's all of his production, literally all of his points this year, 9 points in 9 games, are all assists. So that's pretty good. And young players tend to kind of not be reliable shots on goal guys. He's missed some time this year, but his averages are skewed because, if you look at it, he's still under 2 shots a game. I would expect that to be or like 2.1, 2.2, and right now he's at 1.89. So if that does have like a decent uptick for the averages, and he's still averaging near a point per game, primarily assists, like this guy's a guy who should be way more than 12% owned.
Yeah.
So yeah. Buffalo, like when there's a team that kind of has nothing to lose and just want to develop their young players, like these guys are going to produce.
Yeah.
It's going to be sporadic, but
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Staying within division, Elias Lindhom of the Boston Bruins returned from injury and bumped Matej Blumel off power play 1.
Can't believe that. I really thought Matej had a lock there.
I had to add that. I saw he was on power play 1 for like a hot sec, and then Lindhom came back, and I'm like, finally an excuse to mention Matej.
Yeah, now he's not even like, I think he was scratched.
Yeah.
Matej.
Yeah.
He's buried arse deep in their lineup right now.
Exactly. Lindhom bumped him off PP1 and off the team.
Yeah.
But I think he's back in the lineup. Oh my god.
Everyone's laughing at the joke.
Yeah. This is why we need Kevin here to Oh my god. But yeah,
if keep us in check.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. But yeah,
for those who don't remember what Elias Lindhom was doing before he got injured, he started off the season crazy hot. He was one of our sell highs, but he's consistently solid at the backcats. He'll get you like 1.8 shots, 9 face-off wins, 1.6 hits, 1.2 blocks, something like that. So he kind of like has all those. Also, something interesting about his averages on the season, I think he's averaging like 0.62 points per game on the season. Every single point he has been on the power play.
Wow.
Yeah, every single one. I saw that, I was like, okay. I mean, there's obviously like room for aggression there, but also like clearly he's a power play 1 staple. Currently, they have him on line 2, but it's the line with Geeky on it, so that's pretty much line 1. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see the reunification of Pasta, Lindhom, and Geeky as a line 1. Right now, I think they're trying to spread the wealth and have multiple scoring lines, but it just doesn't seem to be working. So I wouldn't be surprised if to go back to that. So all that to be said, I wouldn't expect him to be the same level as those first few games, but like his averages are pretty much what you'll get.
Yeah, and the fact that he was a sell high doesn't mean that he's gonna just fall off the face of the earth. Like, this is a guy who's producing his career. I still don't think it's going to be nearly what it was to start. I mean, even from that pace, like before the injury, things went way downhill.
Yeah, 100%.
In a non-face-offs league, I'm just like I don't really believe in it too much. But in a face-off win league, he should be rostered if it's like 12, 14
specifically
teams,
like if you have face-off win, hits, and blocks. Yeah, there's just not many players who can do all 3 of those and also be on power play 1. Like, it's very few. Like, I'm looking at, like, we talked about Elias Pettersson. He's one who does that. Like, used to be back in the day Boone Jenner, rip. But, like, there's very few players who can do that. So there's value. Like, even if he's putting up, barely any points, he gets you, like, if that power play production drops down to, like, 0.2, and that's all the points he's getting you, right? Still, 0.2 power play points, like, almost 2 shots. Like I said, with all the backcats, like, someone you're happy to have on your roster. Just don't go paying Kevin's house for it,
That's it. All right.
Okay, on to another one of our sell highs from a previous week. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins should be back this week and will bump Adam Henrique off power play 1. I'm excited to see what happens when Nuge comes back. Hyman's healthy. They can reunite the gang of that original power play 1 unit. And I'm hoping that they start popping off because I have McDavid and Draisaitl in our league. Don't ask me how. Come to the Discord and I'll explain. But yeah, so it should be fun. I still think if Nuge comes back and he starts popping off, that he's a sell high. Like he was your sell high, Jakey, a few weeks ago. And I think if you can get value for him at any moment, then you take it.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused as to why Roslovic isn't still on the first power play, to be honest, because he's been performing super, super well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that does change. Like, I think it's like as of the last game played at the time of this recording, like Roslovic was on PP1, I believe, and perhaps it shifted. But anyway, that situation is fluid. They should have the 5 together, but they also haven't been doing like normal Oilers things this year. I mean, I think a big problem is their goaltending. I dropped Stuart Skinner, good riddance. But at the end of the day, Roslovic to me is still, and you said he loses all value when, Nuge is back and Hyman's back. I still wouldn't drop if it's in a deep enough league. Like I wouldn't preemptively drop.
That's it. I like to see what happens. You don't want to it's like you said, you don't want to preemptively drop. Look, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if like a week after Nuge comes back, you're like, okay, I need to drop him.
Yes.
But you don't have to rush to drop him. It's not like having him on your roster is going to get you negative points or anything.
Exactly. And, Nuge has been decent in his own right, actually. Like as mentioned, he was a sell high, and that inherently means the player's performing well. So what I'll say with this is that the Oilers' power play has started slow in previous years. They're the best power play in the league year in and year out, pretty much, or at least top 3. So owning any piece of this, you're going to expect a lot of offense. And I don't think Roslovic is going to disrupt that by any means. It's just like, how long after Nuge returns do they wait until things really turn back up for them as like a wagon in the league?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's it. But it's exciting. The whole team should get better. The power play should get better. If you own McDry like Josh does, should we just say the trade, or what do you think?
Yeah, so I think I'd already mentioned earlier in like a previous episode how I got McDavid for JT and Thompson, and then Jakey and I made a big trade this week, and honestly I'm regretting it already. But for the back cats, like the face-off wins and stuff, it made sense. I gave him Kucherov and Gostisbehere, and he gave me Draisaitl and Tippett. I know it seems like really bad for me, but I really needed the back cats. My team was really solid at points already, so
doesn't seem bad for you. I feel like it seems very fair. Like even like just like saying it like as a 2 for 2, I feel like it's a really good balance.
Yeah, I guess it's more just like Kuch immediately pops off for 6 points in 2 games. So, and Edmonton hasn't really played since we traded. So like I don't really have much of a comparison, but no, I'm pretty excited about it. It's one of those stacks we talk about where like I need those guys to do well anyway, so may as well double up on it. But
exactly.
But yeah,
one of those games, Kuch just played 5 minutes, which was insane.
Yeah, and got 3 points. Crazy.
Wild. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of the Lightning, Victor Hedman was placed on LTIR. Darren Raddysh will have power play 1 until he returns, and they're starting to wake up. I think Kucherov's starting to wake up. It's kind of crazy actually that how unreal, like at even strength, right? They finally put Kuch, Cirelli, Hagel together, and Kuch and Hagel have been just insane. And they're like, how amazing these 2 guys are together? Let's separate them on the power play. It's so honestly mind-boggling.
So Josh has, I mean, your stack is like as good as it gets, McDrive, but like Loki, the Kuch Hagel stack,
Hagel's stack's been popping off.
It's been popping crazy.
Off. Yeah.
I mean, Hagel also had like 2 back-to-back 3-point games. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So I will say that 4-point game and then a 3-point game.
Put some respect on his name.
And one of them was a shorthanded point. So Hagel's a monster. But to me, the big beneficiary here is Raddysh. And as much as I would love to see Hagel on power play 1, and there's no good reason that he's not there, it's just like this has gone on for too long that I have zero expectations.
It's just the sample size is there, and like I'll bring in the next point. Braden Point is out with an injury, and Nick Paul is taking a spot in power play 1. Like you have both Point and Hedman out, and at various times Kucherov was out. You had pretty much every member of this power play 1 unit other than Gensel has been out at some point this year, and Hagel has gotten no more than like 1 shift. Like we saw him go on it, and then immediately they were like, nah. So I think that's just not going to happen. Nick Paul's an interesting pickup. He didn't do much the first game, but on that power play, but we've seen him have it before. I wouldn't be surprised if when Point comes back, it's Bjorkstrand who gets bumped off instead of Paul, because Paul's been injured all year. He just came back, so definitely Paul and Raddysh. 4-game weeks for Tampa. I mean, one of the games already passed, but 3 more games, and it's hard not to like someone who's playing PP1 with Kucherov.
Yeah. And it's interesting here because like Hagel's kind of a screaming sell high because this production's obviously unsustainable. But when he's back, Point, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep Hagel and Kuch together.
And Cirelli.
This is crazy. Yeah, like Hagel, Kuch, Cirelli.
I think that like that line, I don't see them breaking it up.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Point's been so bad this year, and I still think he's a buy low, but I think he might be line 2 power play 1 instead of line 1 power play 1 when he returns.
Absolutely, and I mean just goes more to the point that the Tampa Bay Lightning are an absolute wagon this year.
Yeah,
like
you can essentially lose your point per game like number 1 center, and they're like Okay.
Yeah, actually,
and your number one defenseman.
Yeah, seriously. So LTIR, does that mean he's missing the season, Hedman?
No.
Or do you know?
He's eligible to come back as soon as December 5th, I'm pretty sure. So, but the coach said he's a couple weeks away. So
Okay.
I'd take that as like 2 to 3 weeks would be my estimate.
Yeah. Does this make you want to trade for Hedman right now?
I mean, all my offers are getting rejected. He just happens to be on one of the many teams in our league that refuses to make trades. But yeah, no, I'm shooting Hedman offers, especially because he lost power play 1 before getting injured. So you can easily, like, you know, I'm sure the Hedman owners in a lot of leagues are like, oh, I can't believe I drafted this guy so high. He's not even power play 1. Now he's injured for weeks. So this is the best time to buy low on him. If you can afford the IR stash for the next few weeks, I love it. If you can do like something crazy, like, I mean, I don't know if you can pull this off, but you can pull off like a Goss to spare plus for Hedman, then like Jake, you can't, because I know in our league the guy's not going to do it. But I'm saying to our viewers out there, if anyone could try something like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other defensemen that I would like love to flip for Hedman who are doing hot right now.
My worry though is that when Hedman comes back, like Raddysh just keeps it. Not because Raddysh is doing so well, but this does happen and it's annoying. And like, look, if the team's winning with Raddysh there, even though it has nothing to do with Raddysh, it's almost like it's like a good luck charm.
Yeah,
thing,
no, I think what it's gonna be is that I don't think there's any chance Raddysh just holds it all season. I think it's gonna be mostly Hedman with some stretches of Raddysh, and you know, Hedman with a chance of Raddysh. But yeah, but I think what I read somewhere that like Hedman just he takes on so many minutes that I think it's just like for load management purposes. They're like, okay, let's ease his like time for a bit and put Raddysh on the power play because the power play is so good. They don't necessarily need Hedman, even though he's clearly the best man for the job. But I'm still not worried about trading for him. I would definitely take him.
That's like what Hagel does.
Yeah, exactly.
Give him huge minutes, but just keep him on power play anyway. Yeah, go for it.
Speaking of defensemen who are hot names, Roman Josi, and just hot in general, returns to the lineup and took back his spot on power play 1. Interestingly, Nashville decided to consolidate back to their normal power play 1 with his returns. They were doing some nonsense while he was gone, having a split power play, and now that he's back, they seem to turn it back into like what you would expect. You've got Josi, you've got Forsberg, you've got Marchessault, Stamkos, and O'Reilly, so nothing surprising there. Honestly, I still would not be surprised if Josi misses more time between now and the rest of the season. We said this in the offseason. I know his injury had nothing to do with his injury last year. There's just, I don't know, I just get that feeling, and we were right so far. I still think that I'm not particularly trying to buy him.
Me neither. It's just that when he does play, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, he's been really good since returning, actually.
He's still Roman Josi. We still love him, but I just doubt the health.
Yeah. I guess, like, where we kind of went wrong is that we thought that, like, he wouldn't even be productive when he does play. Maybe I don't know if you were on that train.
I thought he can be as productive. I just thought he was going to miss a lot of time.
Because the whole thing was, like, his injury, like, affects, like, what was it? Like, he can't, like, bend down or something? Or, like,
it was
that's
like postural something tachycardia syndrome.
Yeah, PTS, it's like something that, like, just totally does not fit as
with
a
being
hockey
a professional
player,
hockey player.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's like it. So to me, I thought that okay, that would make it a really rough time for him to be in any way, shape, or form like what he was. And but he doesn't seem like a shadow of his old self, honestly. Like last year, 0.72 points per game. This year, 0.6. The sample size is small because he's hurt. So
there you go.
I'm not into it by any means, but because it's gonna just like you need players to be healthy, and this is someone who carries a lot of injury risk. Yeah. But when he does play, I mean, if you're the guy holding him and you can't get rid of him, then like just make sure you keep an eye on it, because if depending on what your platform is for fantasy hockey, sometimes they like giving you updates way too close to the game.
Sure.
So
I will say, if I'm a Josi owner, I'm waiting for a stretch of health, like what's coming up right now with his high production, like he's been doing since coming back, and then I'm trying to sell. Because first of all, there's the health concerns. Second of all, there's the bad playoff schedule, and he still has the name value of being one of the best defensemen in the league. So you can definitely get a haul for him when he's on one of his hot streaks, and that's what I would try and do.
If you have Josi, are you trading him for Rasmus Andersson?
No. I think Andersson's part of our hot topics, so I won't dive into it. Okay. But I think that's a clear sell high.
Okay, so you'd rather keep Josi. How about Justin Falk?
No.
You keep
No, like I'm
Josi?
saying,
Okay, so
you use Josi for like an actual good name in return. Like Falk's like
yeah,
a drop,
yeah.
like a waiver wire guy. Like
Last one, Weegar.
no, I'm still
Different
taking
archetype.
Josi. It's a different archetype,
Okay.
but like I think, yeah, I think you're aiming too low. Like look, I want to trade, I want to sell high on Josi, but I don't want to sell low on Josi.
Yeah, I think Weegar has just been so bad that that's the one I'm really. I think I maybe rather Weegar because he could be better than he
I don't know.
was.
I think
I
at
get
this
it though.
point he has no chance of power play one with what Anderson's been doing, and
It's true.
pure bangers guys, like it's easier to pick that up than pick up a guy like Josi. You can aim higher than that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, let's go to the next.
Okay. This is probably the biggest news actually, and it just got buried because I do the ordering of these pretty weirdly. But Connor Hellebuyck got knee surgery and is out 4 to 6 weeks. Eric Comrie will be the starter in his absence. I will say, if you're a Hellebuyck owner, do not panic sell. 4 to 6 weeks in the grand scheme of a season is not that much. It does suck. And if you're the Hellebuyck owner, I would have snapped up Eric Comrie because that's my favorite thing to do when you have a injured, really good starter. Is you just grab the backup guy who's filling in for him, and then even though he's not as good, you still have the starter for that team. And the second your guy comes back, you drop him, and it's like he never left. So, if Comrie got grabbed already and you're the Hellebuyck owner, then look at waivers for something else. But don't make any panic moves over such a relatively short-term injury.
Yeah. Do you think that this affects like the Jets in any way other than the goalie situation? Do you think it's like now that they don't have the best goalie pretty much in the world in net, like that they can? And I know that's like a controversial topic, but if you do look at the stats like last few years, like he's been absolutely ridiculous. So
sure, yeah.
I think he's kind of at least in top 3. Let's just leave it at that.
100%.
So we don't upset any listeners.
At all.
But at the end of the day, like the Jets are gonna have to score more to win now. And yeah.
I don't know. I feel like you can try and like next level it and be like, oh, they have to score more, or like, oh, like you get a lot of confidence from your goalie playing well, so maybe they lose confidence because they don't have as good a goalie back there. But I think that's overthinking it at this point. I think just treat it as a goalie injury and don't try and think about how it might affect the forwards or defensemen.
Right now, would you rather Dobesh or Comrie on your team?
I'd rather Dobesh. I don't like thinking short term. I like. Dobesh has the shot at actually, being a long-term hold, whereas Comrie's an instant drop when Hellebuyck comes back.
All right.
So that's another thing. If you're not a Hellebuyck owner, if you're not a Hellebuyck owner and you saw this happen, I mean, at this point, we're saying it a few days after it happened, so Comrie's already been snapped up probably, but like, I'm not rushing at him. Like, if you needed the goalie help for the next like 4 to 6 weeks, you're a 0G team and you're kind of jumping from goalie situation to goalie situation, then go ahead. But if you have 2 solid starters or like 3 or however many you like to hold, you're not missing out on anything. If Connor Hellebuyck was out for the season, that's a whole different story. Or even for like a longer than this, but 4 to 6 weeks, people are overreacting, I think.
Yeah, Comrie's not gonna get you anything near what Hellebuyck.
Yeah, it's also not like he's slotting in and putting up Hellebuyck numbers, right? So it's like, it's not like the Jets are necessarily the number 1 team in the league like last year, and it's not like that wasn't a big part because of Hellebuyck. So I wouldn't overreact to that one. All right. Next, we've got Kirill Marchenko. The best Kirill in the league is day-to-day. He tweaked a muscle in practice. Kent Johnson takes his spot on power play 1. I don't think this is a long-term injury. I wouldn't panic or anything like that. And I also don't have much interest in KJ this year. He just, in the past, he does 0 backhats, so it's all about the points, and the points just haven't been there this year. And this is just a short-term thing. If Marchenko was out for longer, then maybe. But it's not even like Columbus is that great of a team. So not much to say on this one, but thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, the whole team's just going to simply put out much less offense.
Yeah.
And I'm not interested in Johnson at all. I'm with you there. It's been suspicious how disappointing it's been.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's
crazy. It's crazy.
And lastly, we've got Pyotr Kochetkov is out with an injury. Freddie Anderson and Brandon Bussey are going to split the net until he returns. This whole 3 goalie situation is just a nightmare. Kochetkov leaving, it's still a split, and then he comes back, it's still going to be 3 goalies. I think they're just proving this is why they have 3 goalies, is because their 2 starters are the most injury-prone guys, like, ever. So it makes sense. Like, you have a third guy who's, like, slightly less good, but can stay healthy, so you don't have to scramble every time one of them has a recurring injury. So personally, I'm really happy I avoided all these guys this year, and Kochetkov's been playing well when he's here, but it's just, I feel like this is going to be an on and off thing all season, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm with you there, and it's funny because I'm like this whole team, the Carolina Hurricanes are just an absolute disaster area for fantasy hockey.
Yeah,
like year in and year out, everywhere. Like, even their best defenseman, who's one of the best defensemen in the league, like, isn't good for fantasy. Jacob Slavin's like not good for fantasy, right?
Yeah.
So it's just everything about it is just like such a stay away zone, except I have 4 of them on my team now because they're, first of all, like, the guys I have been decent, and like they're the 3rd best goals for team in the NHL and the worst power play. It's like, it's just everything about it is just anti-fantasy hockey. Rod hates fantasy hockey.
He's like, how can I win games while also frustrating every fantasy manager who has any players on my team? And he does a great job.
Yeah, the best job. And what I will say is that Kochetkov, to me, is I'd much rather have him than Andersson still.
Oh, for sure.
I know that, like, because he's better. He's been really good when healthy, as you mentioned. But also, Andersson gets hurt every year, except for this year, apparently.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Andersson, Andersson gets hurt every year, but so does Kochetkov. That's the thing. I feel like it gets overshadowed by how injury prone Andersson is, but Kochetkov's also been super injury prone. So maybe the move is pick up Brandon Bussey and just wait for the other 2 guys to just be out for the season, and then you have Carolina's starter.
Literally, it's just headaches all over, though. And yeah, I don't even know, like you want Aho, Sveshnikov, I guess, has turned things around. Like, I'm happy with Ghost.
The only 2 guys that I'm like
Jarvis,
especially happy to have are like Aho and Jarvis.
Yeah.
Ghost is a solid for points, but like he gets no backcats. And then Svech is on a hot streak, but again, I have 0 trust in Rod to not just demote him at any moment to like line 3.
Yeah. I hear you. Okay, so now we have a super duper fun, very spicy segment coming up. Drum roll, please. Okay, cool, because the drum roll effect didn't work.
Oh.
Here, this is close.
Nice.
Kind of, not really. Anyways, Kevin's famous Would You Rather section, where we list off 2 players and we discuss who would you rather have on your team for the rest of the season. I'm very curious. I have not looked yet. Get your compare tool out.
I'm getting my Yahoo app out.
The Yahoo app out. So I'm curious to see what he drew up this week, and I wish we knew what his take was on it to have a tiebreaker.
I can usually give his take. I feel like we're often in the same spot. So even when I disagree with him, I feel like I know what he's gonna say.
Okay, sounds good. So coming in for the left wing position, we have, of the Nashville Predators, Filip Forsberg versus the New Jersey Devils, Jesper Bratt.
This is such a classic Kevin thing to put. He's just trying to mind game Jakey into trading him Forsberg for Bratt.
This is classic AF. And I will say that, to me, it's still Forsberg here. I kind of understand where he's coming from, but Forsberg just has the banger cap potential that is way beyond what Bratt can do. And I don't think the point discrepancy is going to be, like, it's worst case, it's going to be like, what, 0.1? Like, last season, the discrepancy was 0.16. And
I can see it being like 0.2. Like, I see like Bratt ending at 1.1 and Forsberg ending at like 0.9.
Fair enough.
But like, for what you're getting, and then power play points is also in Bratt's favor. That can be a big one, actually. Like, I see Bratt getting like 0.35 and Forsberg getting like 0.15. So let's say that extra 0.2 that Bratt's getting is that power play production. But then you go to like the shots and hits, and Forsberg's going to get you an extra shot and an extra like 1.2 hits.
Yeah.
So it's close for sure. It's different archetype of player. I think that, and also Bratt has the edge of having a better playoff schedule. I still think I'm going with Forsberg, but I think it depends what your team needs. I think it's more rare to find a player with Forsberg's archetype who can get you the points and power play points as well as elite shots and hits. But Bratt is elite at what he does, and JBI, TBP, ITNHL. So
yeah,
but I'm gonna go with Forsberg.
Yeah, Nashville's power play is worse this year than last year, and I will say that if you look at the 0.16 points discrepancy, that comes with Forsberg having had a brutal start last year.
Yeah,
like, it was way worse than it is this year. Like, this year's not bad. Last year was an absolute catastrophe, and then he became the hottest player in the NHL. Owning him over that stretch was wonderful. Like, honestly, he was
I mean, that's
so
what
good.
kept you coming back, right? Because I was surprised you drafted him again this year after how brutal his start was last year. But then I'm like, oh, but most fresh in his mind was that second half where he was absolutely unreal. So, so it makes sense. But yeah,
no. So I picked him in the second round. I mean, I probably going back in hindsight, I could have done things differently. Like, it's not necessarily like that I would do it again, but I still think he's like a mid to late second round pick.
yeah.
So to
He's
me,
just a buy low right now. He's not going to keep right now. He's averaging 0.73 points per game on the season and 0.14 power play points. Remember also that Josi has been out. Like, and yes, I was saying that Josi should be like in and out of the lineup rest of the year. But the fact is, he's healthy now, and Josi was out for a while, and they were doing a whole mess of power play stuff. The coach, I don't know, he had no idea what to do without Josi there. They were splitting up the power play and all that. So there's a very clear indicator as to why that should turn around. And he literally did this last year, right, where he started off terribly and then turned it around. So for me, my main concern is actually the playoff schedule, but even that it's not the end of the world. So I'm still going to give the edge to Forsberg. I think if you have Bratt, you can get Forsberg plus in a lot of leagues, and I think that's a solid
really,
move.
really.
Yeah. I think
like
Bratt has more perceived value right now. Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. To me, I guess. Look, I have him on my team, and I know what he can do. So if you can do that, like if you're the Bratt owner, I would send it for Forsberg. And what would the plus be, like Perfetti?
Yeah, something like that. Like a guy who's like on power play, like has a lock on power play 1, but hasn't necessarily been doing that much with it just yet.
Yeah.
But like you're not worried about their deployment. Like, yeah, I like that a lot.
I'd be elated with that. I'd be super happy. So Kevin chooses Bratt, Forsberg 2-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right, what do we got?
Next, we have of the Vegas Golden Knights, Mitch Marner versus the Buffalo Sabres, Tage Thompson. Major stuff, super spicy, so much alliteration. Wow.
Yeah, these are both alliteration kings of their respective teams.
Yes.
And honestly, look, I don't want to be too buy low, sell high and fall into, how players have been doing this year, but I'm going with Tage. I don't know about you, but for me, Marner's such a one-dimensional player. I mean, this is similar to the last one, right? But I feel like it's an even more extreme because at least Brad still like shoots and hits. It's just that Forsberg's a lot more elite at it. For here, Tage is like one of the best shooters in the league, and he's hitting this year. And then Marner does literal zeros at backhats. So his whole thing is that he's supposed to be elite at points, and so far he hasn't been. And there's also like big, factors, right? He changed teams. He's not on a line with Eichel because they decided to split them up. He'll move back and forth. Anyways, I think that there's brighter days ahead for Marner, but I think Tage's ceiling is just so much higher. Or floor. I don't know the way you would look at it, but he's got the shots and hits there, and then he's also going to he's not going to get as many points as Marner, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people thought going into the season.
I would say that this one, to me, okay. So I think that Marner's going to turn things around, and while I don't believe that the Vegas Golden Knights are going to be like that, he's going to be this inconsistent. Like, he's going to get the points, but to me, like the 1.26 to 0.95 points per game last year for both of them, that's like going to be way more narrow. And Mitch Marner needs to have about like 0.2 more points per game. Like last year was closer to 0.3, and I don't think that's going to happen. So, so to me, I'm going to go Tage here as well. But I do think Marner's like kind of a buy low.
No, I fully agree. I mean, also keep in mind, if he ever comes back, Mark Stone was killing it when he was healthy, and making that entire power play unit was just absurd. So that's something to keep an eye out on for sure. There's been no news about him. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back, in a few weeks and then immediately gets injured again and is out for the season. This guy's made of glass. So I wouldn't base all your hopes on him. But the fact is, when he does come back, he makes that team so much better, and Marner will definitely benefit from it. So that's something to keep in mind. But I just think the points difference isn't going to be big enough to justify the backhats difference.
Yeah. Okay. This one I have no idea who Kevin would choose.
I feel like he's more of a Tage guy, but I think he also definitely believes in Marner as a buy low. So I'm not sure. I'm going to go with Tage for him.
I'm going to go with Tage. All right, that's 3 for Tage. Yeah. Next, the defenseman. Ooh.
Okay.
What do we got? Okay. This is big. Both on the same team.
No. Oh, I feel like I know what this is. Can I guess?
Go for
I haven't
it.
looked.
Yes.
Is it going to be Weegar versus Andersson?
Yes, wow. Mackenzie Weegar versus Rasmus Andersson. You guys really finished each other's sandwiches on that one.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's extremely spicy. Okay. This one to me, I'm like actively trying to buy Weegar from the owner, and I don't even think I'm trying to be super fair, knowing that he's underperforming. But my objective analysis here is that Weegar is going to be better than he's been. He's had 0.17 points on the season. That's going to be more like 0.35. And with the back hats, it's nice. It's nice. It's unfortunately not, fourth or fifth round pick like some of you may have made in your leagues, because last year he was a monster.
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking here that's kind of interesting is that before the season, Backlund had that quote about Rasmus Andersson getting traded. Like, that's the team captain saying that. You know what I mean? And they're bad.
Gone.
And I feel like he's trying super hard because he wants to be like, hey guys, pick me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he leaves and then Weegar gets that power play one, what's going to happen is that I don't think Anderson's going to be a lock on whichever team he goes to. He's going to go to a good team, because that's usually what happens, is that good players on bad teams go to good teams. Weegar comes back, and then I'd rather, from here to the end of the season, Mackenzie Weegar over Rasmus Andersson. But let's just pretend status quo. Things stay as they are. That gap to me is way, way smaller than it is. And I'm going to go with Weegar still, because it's the tear that Andersson is on right now is crazy. It's like not sustainable.
It's not.
Whereas what Weegar's doing is like there's nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So,
but yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, I think Andersson is the biggest sell high ever. So let me preface with that.
That's what.
But I don't know how much of a Weegar believer I am this year, because even if Andersson gets traded and Weegar gets back on power play one, he wasn't doing anything with it to start the year for like a pretty big sample size. So I don't really believe in Weegar's points going up. I think you're kind of, I mean, they're not just going to stay this low, but like I see his ceiling for points being like 0.3 at this point. Like, I don't see him going like higher than that. Yeah. And I don't think there's going to be much power play points. So it's really just a pure bangers guy. And he's elite at that, no question. But then you look at Andersson, and like Andersson shoots more than Weegar does. He gets pretty much the same blocks. The only difference is like a massive difference in hits, obviously. And Weegar will get you some more PIMs, but even that's not that crazy. Andersson gets PIMs. So again, as it stands right now, I don't see Andersson losing power play one to Weegar, so I would go with Andersson. And then I agree that he's inevitably getting traded. And I just feel like whoever trades for him, there's a chance that he can be their power play one defenseman. I don't know. The situation hasn't shaped itself fully yet with like what's going on in the NHL. You know, like what happens if Tampa, what happens if Hedman's out for longer than we thought? Or like they just decide Hedman is not the guy we want on power play one, He's going to beat Darren Raddysh, like that's just one off the top of my head. Yeah. Wow. So I feel like, So there's like, I feel like if a team is acquiring Andersson, it's either to make him their power play one defenseman or like just to bolster their depth. Obviously, that's the two options. But I just think that Andersson actually has more upside than Weegar right now. And it just kind of sucks because I still believe Andersson is such a sell high. I don't think he's going to be doing anywhere near this. But I think it's more how low I am on Weegar at this point.
Okay. So the difference has been split, it seems.
Yeah, good job, Kevin.
You're going Andersson. You're going Andersson.
Yeah, and I feel like Kevin's going to go Weegar.
Really? I was thinking to go Andersson.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
wow, he got the split, the double split.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so funny. No, to me, it's more just Andersson. He's super like big on the lack of sustainability being a factor. So I like it's super obvious to me.
Yeah.
But that's really spicy, especially though they're on the same team. I love
it. Yeah.
This next one's really good too. I had to peek because I had to read it, just saying. So
he's falling back into his old ways.
This is like such a same archetype, but there's a twist, and I know my answer already. Florida Panthers, Anton Lundell versus the Washington Capitals line one center Dylan Strome.
Oh, that's an interesting
This is
one.
really, really good, but I think just looking into it a bit more, The backstory is that Lundell's never had the opportunity to thrive with Barkov there. Barkov is one of the best pure centers, like IRL, and also amazing for fantasy. He now has this opportunity. He's running away with it. Their shots, faceoffs, hits are super similar, except shots of faceoffs are similar, except Lundell hits. Now,
but it's only 1 per game. It's not that crazy.
But Strome's 0. And at that point, I feel like the points are going to be so similar that crazy to say, but I'm actually going to go Lundell.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like, not to mention Florida's not been super hot. That's the other one thing, is that they've been kind of all over the place, and as of late they've been good. Same with Washington. Like, it's the same story. It's just that I believe in the Panthers more than I believe in the Capitals.
That's fair. I think I'm going with Strome on this one. I just think that Strome, his line 1 power play 1 spot is cemented. Whereas with Lundell, I just don't know what's going to happen when some of their injured guys come back, specifically when Tkachuk comes back. I know he's not a center, but when a guy like that comes back, it just shuffles up your entire kind of like top 9 or top 6 at least. So I just think that his deployment's not as secure as Strome. And right now, even with the line 1 power play 1 deployment, Strome's averaging 0.13 more points per game than him. So I'm confident Strome's going to end the season with more points per game. I think power play points right now it's almost dead even. I think Strome's going to end up with more. Shots is negligible difference. Faceoff wins negligible difference, and then hits Lundell has the edge. So for that reason, I'm going with Strome.
Okay, it's a great. This is a great one.
Yeah,
this is like another really, really good one, and I agree with like a lot of what you said. By the way, like it makes sense to me. The caveat for me is that I think it's just going to make him better. Like, I think the whole team's going to be better when Tkachuk comes back. If it was a center, by the way, that's a whole different combo.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But, like, who gets shuffled here? Like, Jesper Boquist?
That power play 1 has been so, like, mixed up all year that I just not sure if I feel like Lundell's cemented the spot. Like, in my mind, the obvious ones, you've got Jones, Reinhart, Tkachuk, and that's like and Marchand, exactly, yeah. So you have those 4 like locked down, and it's a fight over that last spot. It's not gonna be Verhaeghe because they hate him, and Bennett has, like I feel like Lundell has the edge over Bennett, but like it's just not secure to me. Whereas Strome, I have 0 doubts in my mind that he's line 1 power play 1 for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think it's also it's like Lundell is the lower floor, by the way. Like I do agree there, but like the expected value based on the fact that he has a higher ceiling. That's why I'm going to go with Lundell.
But also, like, another thing to note is if it's, like, confirmed that Barkov's not back for playoffs this year, I wouldn't be surprised if Florida goes out and acquires a center. Like, what if they get, like, Nazem Kadri? Wow. I just pulled that off the top of my, head. Like, but like,
happen. What? That would happen.
Right? Like, that just seems the type of thing they would do. I mean, it's tough because of his contract, obviously, so probably not. But, like, that's just an example, right? What if they get a guy to come in center, and that guy can easily take Lundell's spot on power play 1? Obviously, this is like such a, like projection so far into the future, and who knows. But just the fact that with Strome, I don't have those doubts is what makes me lean with him.
Yeah. It's definitely safer. Much safer.
I'd say Strome is safer, but Lundell you can give the upside too.
That's spicy. I like it.
All right. Okay. What's the last one?
We have, unsurprisingly, the goalies.
Okay, here we go.
2 fellow countrymen. We have Sergei Bobrovsky versus Ilya Sorokin. Wow.
That's crazy because Sorokin has been playing out of his mind. I know because I went up against him last week and it was brutal.
Yeah. This is so Bob, to me, when he plays, should like have better averages, I suppose. Like, I think you agree with me there.
Yeah, right now Sorokin has better ones, but it's pretty close.
Sorry?
Right now Sorokin has the edge on that, but it's close.
Yeah. It's just they're a better team. But the Islanders are like not as bad as they were. Well, not even close. They're okay this year. I know. That's kind of fun. I don't expect it to last, and Florida's just gonna get better. Like the addition of Tkachuk, like we were saying with Lundell, it's kind of sus, but like the team's gonna get better. And when the teams get better, the goalies get better.
I mean, they also have a bunch of like defenseman injuries like Florida, so it's not just Tkachuk. Yes. Like they have a lot of guys who, when they come back, it should bolster the team.
Yeah. That being said, I just think the talent's going to win out here, and Sorokin's currently talent-wise, also top 3 in the league. He's there with Hellebuyck. So I think I'm going to go Sorokin because you're going to get the volume too.
Yeah, I would say my biggest kind of question for, my deciding factor is how much are wins valued in your league? Because if wins is just another category that's the same value as goals against average, save percentage, saves, all that stuff, then I'd go with Sorokin. But if a lot of leagues, like points leagues especially, they have wins being worth like 3-4 points, something like that, then I'm going with Bob because I think he's going to get a decent amount more wins than Sorokin.
Yeah, you know what? I'm in a points league, and I'm actually just gonna check out like who's done better so far this year, because to me, I'd be surprised if it was Sorokin, even with the volume,
Yeah.
But actually, it is, drum roll please, which we already realized doesn't actually. It is Sorokin. Sorokin's been better. Yeah, season total, not season average, but still. And I think that that's mainly a function of saves being pretty valuable in this league as opposed to wins. So it's really down to the wire. I guess the fact that, okay, Kevin killed it today, by the way.
Yeah.
And I can't believe we don't have him as a tiebreaker. You're going Bob here?
I know, it's crazy. I think I'm going Bob.
Yeah, so like we've been split like crazy down the middle today, and we don't have him as a tiebreaker. This is cruelty, actually.
I know, honestly.
I'm kidding.
The day he decides to like kill it the most and split it down the middle is when he's not here to like break the tiebreaker.
It doesn't get much better than this, honestly. Like this is absolutely amazing. So I have zero conviction in this choice though. Like I'm much more confident in Lundell versus Strome, and even that one I'm like, it's pretty up in the air. Look,
these were great ones.
The fact is, like, teams don't want to not do well. We talk all about like,
so true.
Tanking theoretically. No, actually though.
No, it's true.
Like even Chicago this year, nobody thought they'd be decent. Like they're doing their thing out there. Like we don't like. It's kind of fun because we don't really know who's gonna be like an absolute horrible team yet. Like a lot of teams that are really bad now, like Calgary was close to the playoffs last year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chicago was nowhere to be seen, and now they're trying. And
the
Islanders, like, I still don't think they're very good, but Schaefer's a great player, it seems.
Yeah.
Still a solid.
Bo Horvat's having a resurgence.
Bo Horvat's been awesome. So, it's not impossible also that, like, the team, like, doesn't end up making the playoffs, but they're making a push, and Sorokin's going to play all the time, and they're going to have close games. Even, like, this is the best team, I think, if I remember correctly, that Sorokin's ever had in front of him. So
I mean, I feel like just having Schaefer makes it the best team. So,
and this is the worst the Panthers have been in front of Bob because of the injuries.
100%.
So I'm gonna stick with Sorokin here, but
I agree.
Kevin.
I don't have the strongest conviction on this one either.
Okay. Thank you to everybody for listening to our Week 8 news and extremely, extremely ghost pepper habanero pepper level spice. Would you rather? Nuts. Yep. That was a lot. But it was a real good one. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Rate us 5 stars. Give us a follow. Truly, truly love you all for doing that. Much appreciated. So,
and comment your favorite Will Ferrell
YouTube.
Movie.
That too. You can't forget the Will Ferrell movie. That's really, really important and relevant to hockey because he's an LA Kings fan. We know this. We love.
And we're definitely gonna get a couple of comments being like, "You guys are crazy. How did you not say Step Brothers?" And Step Brothers is amazing, but I feel like it's fun putting in the deep cut, But obviously, no shade to Step Brothers.
That's it.
And for the Catalina wine mixer.
Join the Discord. If you made it this far, it means that you like listening to us. I think, or you just find us,
or
really
you're just
cool.
like a masochist.
Let's hope it was the former. So the Discord is a great place because that's where we drop all the news. Like as soon as we hear about it, we talk about analyzing trades with you guys, start sit decisions and everything. And really, I mean, we are on TikTok, we're on Reddit, we're on Instagram. But by far, we are most active in the Discord. That's the best way for us to interact with you guys. So please join the Discord community. It's super simple. Click the link tree, click Discord, make a username, join, and then you're there and it's a party.
It's popping.
Yes. Well said. Okay, Ernie, take it away.
Ba-ba-da-bow-bow, Banger Management Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Nice.